One of the lesser spoken about topics on self-improvement is outgrowing people and how lonely it can get. Whenever I think of this topic, I'm reminded instantly of the video that went viral, the video clip by Chris Williamson, where he spoke about the lonely chapter, right? And when I say that, even though you've never heard about it, you probably understand what I'm speaking about. When you're on self-improvement, it gets lonely. And basically, what he condensed this into in a way that can be explained to other people who might not understand is that when you're on self-improvement, you get to a point where you've outgrown, right? I'm not saying that you're better than your old friends, but yeah, let's just be real. Okay, you've outgrown them in certain aspects of your life. You've outgrown your old friends, right? Like they're still playing video games, they still like to do things that you're different. You're different from your old friends, right? Because you've outgrown them from a self-improvement point of view. But you still haven't grown enough to the point where the people who are on self-improvement or the people who are at a certain level, you can actually be friends with them. So you're kind of stuck in that middle, like that purgatory, right? Where you don't want to hang out with your old friends because, again, you're going somewhere different, right? But then you can't hang out with the people you want to hang out with because, again, you're not quite there yet, right? You can't really relate to their life experiences and how far they've gotten. And this is very, very prevalent. I'm sure if you're watching this video, you know exactly what I'm talking about, right? It's like I say, it's very prevalent and we all deal with it, right? I'm reminded, like when I speak about this, I'm reminded of a conversation I was having with my friend, right, about a couple weeks ago. And again, he's also on self-improvement. And he was speaking about how some of his old friends, right, like he's realized that like they're like worldly friends, right? Because obviously we're Christians, right? We're Christians, we're aiming to build our lives with God and build a stronger relationship with God, right? And he spoke about how his friends, they're just very worldly, like they're into worldly things and they keep inviting him to these things, right? But like he might go here and there, but the other things where it's kind of just like he doesn't relate to them as much, like, because like, they're into worldly things and also like from a self-improvement point of view, it's just not the same, right? Like he's just not there. And for me, that's why, again, this is a whole different topic. I actually made a video about it, about why you should get rid of your worldly friends. But I'm a big proponent of making friends who are just like you, right? Make godly friends, right? Make friends who are on self-improvement, who are men of God, right? Just like you, because obviously if you make friends with people who are worldly, like they're going to pull you back, right? They'll pull you back out. And again, from a Christian point of view, like this is a whole different topic. Like it's actually a debate on like, should you go out there and evangelize and be around because Jesus walked with sinners, but it's also like Jesus was Jesus, bro. Jesus was not going to get turned by the sinners. That was just never going to happen. And it's like for you, I think my philosophy around that is that we need to surround ourselves with like-minded people, like with godly friends, right? So we build our identity and we build our relationship in God, right? And once we get to a certain point, we start dabbling, we start getting out into the world, and we start evangelizing amongst worldly people, where it's less likely that we're going to get turned, right? Because you don't just want to be that, you're new, you're still building your relationship with God, and then you start hanging around worldly friends and you think you're going to turn them. But then because again, you're not that strong in your faith or in your scripture knowledge or whatever it is, right? You get turned. So for me, I'm always a big proponent of having godly friends. And just to carry on from what I've just said, right? I think it's important now that you build your own friend group. And I've spoken about this. I always speak about this. I'm very passionate about it, okay? Because it's big in my life, right? The aspect of having to build your own group. Because like I said it 2 videos ago and I've said it so many times, right? It's like, ideally, we'd all love to just be like, oh, I'm looking for a group of like friends who are just like me and that I'm looking for this specific group of friends, and you just find them, like, or they find you actually, like you just go to the gym and you see them and they invite you to work out with them, and you're in, like you've got your friend group for life, right? It would obviously be nice, if you were like, maybe you were young, you met them at school, or maybe your parents and their parents were friends, and then you guys all just ended up being friends forever and everything just worked. Like that would be ideal, right? But that's just not how it works, right? Especially if you're a person with like substance, a person of depth, right? So like we're on self-improvement and you're watching these kind of videos, you're a person of substance and a person of depth, right? We all have certain like nuances, right? We all have certain things we like, certain like aspects and characteristics that we have, right? And again, I've spoken countless times about why you need to build your own group, because you have to, right? But the aspect that I haven't spoken about so much, and the difficulty I've faced, right? Because I've been working on building a friend group. I started in like 2021, but then like as time passed, like I started doing, yeah, I stopped and then I started doing it again. Like I remember when I first started, I started doing it on like Discord, just reaching out to people, and then I kind of stopped, and then last year I started again, right? And then now like I've moved to a new city, so I'm like doing it in real life. So I've done it online and in real life. I'm trying to do it, right? I'm working on it, and there's progress, right? But there are learning points that you need to take into account, right? Such as like the first thing you need to do is you need to set out the characteristics for the people you're looking for, right? And for me, I started doing that like last year when I did start reaching out to people online. It was very clear. Like I was like, okay, I want people around my age. So at the time I was like age 20 to 22. And then I was like, I want them to be on self-improvement. I want them to be Christian. And then I forgot what the other one was. It was mainly those three. And then I said like politically I want them to be like conservative, because for me that was a good like filter for like the types of beliefs you have. Like if you're a conservative Christian who's like my age and you're on self-improvement, for me that was like we should get along, right? And you know, it's been decent. Like it helped obviously filter out a lot of like stuff that a lot of people that I wouldn't get along with. But then there's other aspects you don't realize, like from doing this online and also like speaking on real life, like other than those main things I spoke about, like there's also other things, just like how extroverted you are, right? Like I'm very extrovert. I'm making YouTube videos, bro. I'm extroverted, right? That explains that, like that links well to like my social battery, like the type of activities I want to do, right? How often I want to be going out, right? And that's a big thing. That's also a big thing. And then also just like the type of group you're looking for, right? There's some people who, you know, they're fine, but they're just looking for like friends to have, like just so you can have them. But like for me, I'm looking for like a group of like your boys. You build life together. I'm talking like 10 years from now, 20 years from now, like we've got like houses next to each other. Our families are like besties. Our kids, like we take them to the gym together, or we play sports with them together, whatever it is. Like we are like basically family. Like that's what I'm looking for in terms of like the type of group I want, right? Some people are not looking for that, right? There's so many different characteristics, and also things like the future plans, right? Like future plans, again, I spoke about that, like, you know, like having like families, being friends and whatever. Also just like, you know, like do you want to be financially free in the future, or are you kind of just chilling in your job, right? Like that's big, because for me, like I want to be financially free in the future, so you know we can, when I'm with like my boys and our families, like we can just up and go for like a holiday when we want. You know, if we want to take like a 2-week vacation and like, I don't know, and flipping not Europe, I don't like Europe. I don't like Europe that much, but okay, so you want to go to like London and it's like winter time and you just want to go and experience the snow or whatever it is for like 2 weeks. Just go, just up and go. Like you want that kind of lifestyle. If someone else isn't like really chasing like financial freedom, they're not going to be able to do that, right? Just small things like that. Those make a big difference in terms of like building your own group. But yeah, those are just like, this was a very brief video, like just explaining, like we all know about the learning chapter, like you outgrow people and how difficult that is. But I think the crux of what I wanted to get through in this video is like you have to build your own friend group and how you can do that basically. But you guys let me know, like how is it going for you guys? Like, are you in the learning chapter? Have you like built the friend group? Like let me know in the comment section below. And also hit subscribe. You can join our Discord if you're looking to make like like-minded friends as well. But yeah, until next time, I'll see you boys.